about the mind. They want to learn how to less stress, how to have less stress. So I used to lecture about meditation. I used to teach meditation to the businesses. There is, as later I will talk about this, there is opportunity for you, if your English becomes very, very good, you can also lecture businesses about meditation. And they will help you, they will finance you, they will pay you. And some of these companies have a lot of money. One of my friends went to Google. We all know Google. We use Google. He's a monk, he is still a monk, and he goes regularly to teach at Google, and they give him sponsorship, some money for him for his temple. So you can travel. Google has offices everywhere, but Australia, if you can speak English, Australia or Canada, America, the UK, these are places you can go to also. Okay, to begin with, what I would like to say is about English language. The main thing, why do we learn English language? Why do we not learn French language? Why do we not learn Spanish? Yeah, because we want to communicate. And we need a language that everybody can speak to communicate. And this is what we want to do. We want to communicate about many different things, and I will come on to the different things that we will communicate on the first later. To begin with, how many countries do you think, how many countries have English as an official language? Any guess?
I think there are more than 50 countries.
A lot more than 50. Any higher than 50? I don't know. Higher than 50, a number higher than 50. Okay, 100, over 100, 104 countries list English as an official language. 104 countries in the whole world have English as an official language. This was mostly due to Britain having the empire a long time ago, many, many years ago. Whether it was good or whether it was bad, I don't know, up to you. Many Europeans are, especially in Europe, in UK, they're a little bit upset, the word that I think is maybe a little bit upset about our history, British history, because we came into Southeast Asia, we came into America, and we take many things. So this is why many people from the UK are coming back out here to try to give something back to the people of Southeast Asia. We're giving you an opportunity to come to England or come to America or come to Australia and make money, bring money back to your family, to your village or whatever else. But you have to speak English to be able to do that. That's the main thing. If you can speak English, the better your English, the more chance you have of being the person that they want. Ah, this guy, he can speak English very good. พูดภาษาอังกฤษเก่งมาก very good. Okay, we want you. Come here, yeah. And then you go and you พูดภาษาอังกฤษดีมาก you speak English very good. Ah, okay, next week, come back, we have you again, we talk you again, yeah. And so this is important because then the more you go regularly, you can be a monk, you cannot be a monk, up to you. If you are a monk, you can do this through the temple. If you are not a monk anymore, you can do this as a lay person, it's okay. But you can make money by going to these places to teach. Sometimes I will go into the community, I will go into the money side of it later, that how you can make a business or how you can make a career later. But I still want to just talk about the English side of it at the moment. So we have over 104 countries, 104 countries listing English as a main language that they speak. There are more than this. If you look at the other, anyone know what is the next biggest country for language Does anyone know?
What is the next?
The next biggest. Yeah, the next biggest. Which is the next? So if English has, I think they say English is supposed to be the widest. It's not the widest. There is one country that speaks one language that is the most spoken. Does anyone know? Mandarin. Mandarin, but this is only because the population, but it's mostly just in China. But if you go to Australia, not many people speak Mandarin. You go to America, you go to where all the money is, not many people speak Mandarin. But across the world, South America speak English, North America speak English, Europe speak English, yeah? Africa, many African countries speak English. All of these places is what we said earlier on. My friend over here said, we are trying to communicate. Yeah? If you can communicate, you have more freedom. We want more freedom to do things, to say things. This is kind of some of the things that's most important. So Mandarin language, only in China, mostly only in China. 1 billion people speaking Mandarin. But around the world, over 900 million, very close, not much difference. Over 900 million people. If you can speak English, you can speak with 900 million people. You will never speak to all these people unless you are on television. Maybe you're on TV, you can speak to 900 million. But otherwise, you would not see that. You would not see that. Okay, don't worry for this, we will show some things later. So the other thing I wanted to speak about was, so first of all we had the countries. Then we had how many people. The next one I wanted to go on about was, okay, so the other languages, Chinese, English, the next biggest one is Spanish. But those are the three main languages. Those are the three main languages for the whole world. But out of all of them, even in the Spanish-speaking countries of South America, they speak English. Mostly they speak English. We have Mexico, which is very close to America. They speak English. Most of them will speak English because they want to go to America. Okay, and obviously the closest one that we have to here is Australia. Okay, coming back to the other thing which I wanted to talk about, which was communication. We need to communicate through business. Business can be many things. You may have heard earlier on, I have a background in organic farming. My background in organic farming is because many companies in the West, before they try to sell many chemicals to the Asian market and to the Africans. They sell them because there's a lack of education about the chemicals. So some people don't know that chemicals will destroy their farms. So in Europe, many people know this now. Some chemicals are okay, but many chemicals, they are not good. And in India, it's not just here, in India, in Africa, and in Thailand and the surrounding ASEAN countries, they are starting to realize that we need to go back to organic, something which is good for your health, more healthy, no chemicals and things like this. But if you cannot speak English, how will you negotiate? Cannot negotiate. If someone comes and says, this is this, you don't understand. Maybe he tells you, oh, this is very good. Everything written in English. Oh yeah, he told me this is very good. I put on my plant, they get very big. But it's chemicals, you eat it and it's not good for you. You spray your plant and you become very sick. But you don't know why, because you cannot read that it is dangerous. It says dangerous, do not use. But you don't know, because you cannot read English. If you know, you can help other people as well. If your temple, you go into your temple, you have a temple in the countryside. Even if you stay in Thailand, if your temple is in the countryside, you can read this and you can tell the farmers, don't use this, it's not good. Yeah, if it is dangerous, you can tell them because you can speak English, you can read English. And this is just for staying in this country. You can help Thailand in this way. If you have family who are farmers, family who have a farm, you can negotiate better prices. Sometimes we have people who come to, not just, as I say, not just in Thailand, in India and other places, the same. You have people who, they come in and they negotiate bad prices. They give the farmer very little money and they keep a lot of money for themselves. They say, oh, the prices are very low right now. The price is very low. And the farmer doesn't know because he cannot go onto the internet and read English and see what is the price, because he cannot see in English what is the price. But if you know the price, you can say, no, this is not the price. The price is way more than this. Don't cheat me, yeah? You can say. Maybe the person is not English, doesn't have to be an English person or an English-speaking person, but because you can read English, you can check on the internet and see what the price is. What is the price for rice right now? Oh, hang on, let me check. I will go on the internet. I will read what is the price for rice. I will tell you, I will help. Yeah. You do have it in Thai as well, but it's easier if you can read it in English because you have the correct prices all the time there. You go on the internet, you can see price for rice, for sugarcane, for buffalo, everything is on there. So English websites are this. So this is through business and trade. If, let's say you want to trade with someone in Australia, they love organic food. They want organic food right now. If they have, their food is non-organic, they pay low money for it, they won't pay. Organic food, they pay high money. Yet again, you have your farm, you grow organic food on your farm, you can speak English, you can talk to someone in Australia. Yeah, you can say to them, hey, I've got this organic farm here, I want to sell you this. There's another thing as well. Has anyone heard of Amazon? Yeah. Amazon, yeah, so we have Amazon. Amazon is a big company that sells many things all over the world. A little bit like Lazada. You know Lazada? Yeah, okay. A little bit like Lazada, but it's kind of all over the world. Also Alibaba. Alibaba is another one. Yeah, Jack Ma. He does it in China. So you have these websites, Amazon, Lazada, no, because it's just for Thailand, but you can have Alibaba and Amazon. What can happen? You go on the internet, it's in English. You go on the internet, you create an account. Your farm, your family's farm, they are making organic rice. You put it in a bag, you put it on the internet, someone in America is looking for organic rice. They speak English. Oh, your farm, your friends, your family's farm, they make organic rice, I will pay. And then you send by the post, you send by post. You do not even have to have someone to come by, you sell it straight to the person in America, straight to the person in Australia, straight to the person in the UK, and you can have a high price. You don't need to have someone in the middle, and your family can make more money for their farm. Yeah, and then if the family make more money on the farm, maybe they can get more farm, make more organic. Yeah, which is also going to help the world. It's going to help the land. Yeah, so when you have more organic, it's going to help everyone. And you can do this yourself by learning English and by using the English language. So just try to remember those websites. You know this Alibaba and Amazon, so you know you can always tell your friends if anyone does not know. Yeah.
Alibaba is one of the best company in China, and the owner is Jack Ma. Right?
Jack Ma, yeah, yeah, Jack Ma is very good. Yeah, he's. As far as he goes, yeah. So we were just saying there that Jack Ma is the guy. He owns Alibaba. Alibaba is the biggest company in China. It's probably almost the world, I think, because the Chinese market is quite big. But it is one of the biggest companies in the world. And you can use Alibaba from your home. You don't have to be anywhere. You don't have to be in America. You don't have to be in Australia. You can stay at home. Stay with your family, and you can sell on Alibaba if you have farm products or something like this. So English language helps you for business. Definitely helps you for business. And as we were saying, if your family can buy more land and sell more and create more organic, you're looking after the Thai countryside. You're looking after Thailand itself as well. Because while we use the chemicals, it's not very good for the land. People wonder why everything is so hot, why we lose, why everything is going dry. It's because the land is not being looked after. When we start to look after the land, we will start to be cooler. It will be cooler again. You know, we will have more water. We will have more, you know, more moist in the air, because as you look after the land and the trees, everything becomes cooler and more enjoyable. You know the difference. So in here, we are there's a few trees, but if you go to a temple in the countryside, in Tamachat, you go to the temple, right, Tamachat. Oh, it's very cool, it's very nice. You have trees, you have moisture, because you have the organic there, everything is organic. In the city is different, city is concrete, but we want less concrete, we want more organic. And you can do this by selling these things on the farm. Okay, so this is business. This is some of the good aspects of business that we can do. And the other thing as well of this, the other thing is that we are not going against the Buddha's teachings. When we are doing organic, when we are looking after the planet, when we are looking after things, we're looking after nature, we are also doing this, it's still Buddha's teachings as well. You know, looking after health, looking after the health of humans and things like this. Obviously other things maybe not, you know, some things are not so good with Buddha's teaching, but something like this is perfect. No, you don't create any bad karma, it's very good. So, okay, so this is business. What else do we have here? We have some other things as well. Okay, the other thing, politics. English is used for politics a lot. And we all know, I don't know if we all know, but we've seen about President Bush in America. Not President Bush, President Trump now. Trump is in there now. And Trump, everyone says, this guy, what is he doing? You know, he's doing... Yeah, he was... Exactly, yeah. So he was actually a businessman before he became president of America. And he actually did some, when he was a businessman, he wasn't a very nice person. Some of the things he did were people didn't think he was very nice. And now he is the president of America, and now people are saying, oh, we don't like him, he's no good, blah, 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 blah. But this is politics. Now, how do we stand up to these sort of politics? When we see these sort of things, we need to speak English. If the president of America who speaks English is doing something, we have to speak English if we want to negotiate with him, or if we want to say something with him, you know, or if we want to say, no, you know, don't do this, this is not good. Or if we want to explain to him, you know, we can say, actually, no, the people want this, or the people want that. We can also explain, we have a voice. We can use our English, yeah? In America and in the UK and Australia and Canada, everyone has a voice. If you can speak, you can say something. Yeah, you have a human right to talk about, especially about politics. And there's different ways. Some ways, you know, maybe protesting and throwing your things everywhere, you know, it gets you heard, but sometimes not always so serious. But if you create appointments, what most people don't know is you can actually have a one-to-one conversation with many politicians. So many politicians, you can talk to them and you can say, hey, I don't think this is right. You know, we should be able to do this or this or this. Or, you know, let's say that something is happening in the future which is affecting Thailand's rights. Someone in America or someone in Australia or Canada, one of these high politicians are trying to do something to stop Thailand's rights. If you can speak English, you can explain it and you can maybe change it. You can change their mind. So they will not do that. So this is why it's important as well, you know, being able to speak out, stop the bad things from happening, you know, create good things to happen. And you can do this through dialogue. We do this through talking a lot of the time. We talk on many subjects all the time. But if we can talk about good things, human rights, things about human rights and what they can do, these are important things. Okay, the next one that I wanted to go into is, where are we next? Social. So we need English for social. I think everyone knows Facebook. Yeah, everyone. Yeah, I think everyone has Facebook. We have Facebook, we have Line, we have all these other ones. Instagram, yeah. I don't think you talk so much on Instagram, but you don't want to. Yeah, you have to be careful with that one. But Facebook, we can talk on Facebook. And again, we can allow people to know things. On Facebook, I don't know if you've seen, there's a monk who tells stories in English. He speaks in English and he tells Dharma stories in English. It has Thai subtitles underneath as well. But many of my friends, they send it to each other. There's this one monk, he speaks in English, he always speaks Dharma stories. He tells them just the stories, to learn about generosity, to learn about friendship and kindness and these other things. Sometimes he teaches a little bit deeper, but he speaks English, and because of this, I get it. Many of my friends, they get this story. If they couldn't speak Thai, they would not know this. But this other monk, he speaks English, and he explains it to them. They can learn Dharma through Facebook, through a social network. It can be used for good things, teaching people how to be a good person. In the West, it's happening more here now, but in the West, many people have a lot of mental problems from stress and depression. A lot of stress, a lot of depression, and Buddhism helps people. Buddhism actually helps you. The Buddha's teaching, it helps you not to be stressed. It helps you to be, not depressed. You don't become depressed because you look at all the good things in life. When you follow it, if you follow Buddha's teachings, yes, we are not stressed. We live happiness because this is what the Buddha teach. Buddha teach for us to change our life. Yeah, we know there is suffering. We understand from Buddhism, we know there is suffering, but the Buddha taught us there is a way to end suffering. In the West, they don't know. If they don't know Buddhism, they don't know there is an end to suffering. In the West, they think, oh, my life is always going to be suffering. I cannot do anything. But if you can speak English, you can say, no, you can do something. Buddha teaches us. There is a way, there is a path. There is a path we can do to end suffering. And you can teach someone that. And that person, maybe they finished themselves if they don't know this. But if you tell them, this is a life you save, this is a life that has happiness. Many people, as I say, have this problem in the West because they do not know about Buddha's teachings. They do not know there is a way out. Oh, every day is so bad, I cannot. But if you tell them, no, there is a way you can do this. And you teach them what you know. You know in Thai, you learn in Thai. You can teach them in English. If you can speak English, you can save life. Because these people, they go down and down and down till there is nothing left of them. But Buddha's teaching can bring them up if you speak English. There are many temples as well in Australia and the UK and places in America as well that need Buddhist monks who can speak English. Many temples, everyone, they just putภาษาไทย. And the Falang come and say, oh, I want to know about Buddha, and hello, yes, how are you? Okay, thank you, sit down please. But that's it. Yeah, so some people, they don't know. But if you know English, if you can speak English, it's different. Someone says, tell me about Buddha. Okay, I can tell you about Buddha. I can tell you the 4 teachings and everything else. So this is why it's important. And you can go to these temples as well. If you want to see, sometimes you want to see different countries. If you contact the temple, you can say, if your English is very good, they will love to see you because they really want some people who can speak English. So many cannot speak, they just speak Thai, maybe very little bit of English. And the more English you can speak, the better. And you can go to these temples all over the world, can visit different places. Maybe you've always wanted to go to America, you can go to New York, there is a temple in New York. You want to go to England, there is a temple in London. I used to go to this temple very regularly. They always taking the monk into the temple to help the Westerners because they want to know meditation. How do we do meditation? I was in the UK, I was teaching meditation, but I'm Falang teaching meditation because we do not have Thai people to teach meditation. Maybe some things I do not understand about meditation. Maybe things you understand, you can translate and you can teach them properly when you learn English. So it's very good. So even, this social aspect of English that we have there, you can use Facebook or you can do actually seeing them. And the other one, which I've kind of talking about anyway, which is teaching, which is kind of teaching Dharma. I've already been speaking about that already. You can teach Dharma to Westerners. They are very interested, and they are good students. Sometimes I think here, if you try to teach people Dharma, sometimes they're not very interested, or they don't listen, or you start to do samadhi. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, sit down. Bye-bye. But sometimes we have to go longer. So, in the UK, they will go longer. They will go longer. Many people do nung chamong minimum. They will do sit nung chamong 30 nati, hour and a half. They will sit. They enjoy it. They chop mak. They really enjoy it. So if you can go and teach them, they will be good students, many good students for Dharma. But we need people who can speak English, so you have to speak English. Okay, what else about English? So one of the big things, I don't know if you realize this, but one of the big things that the reason why, I said earlier on, the reason why everyone speaks, so many people speak English is because there was the British had an empire. They had, the British had America and Canada and Australia. They came all into Asia and Africa. They did this to influence the countries because they wanted to take the resources, originally to take the resources. They wanted to take the gold or the oil or the whatever else. To begin with, this was how they did it. And the way they influenced the local people was mostly through religion. So mostly when they were talking about, when the British came in with Christianity, they tried to change everyone because they had influence. This was how they tried to change people in Asia, and still now, I think they still do it now actually, but in Asia and Africa and North and South America. But everyone had their own religion already. But Britain didn't want this. No, you have to follow, you have to believe in God and all this and everything else. But Buddha already taught that God is not forever. God is temporary. But then the British, don't listen to this. So this was how they influenced Asia and all the other countries. But now, these countries, Europe and America, are being influenced by Buddhism. They realize now that actually Buddhism is the correct way. Many people, they don't want to be Christians now because they realize this isn't real. We look for something more real. And Dharma obviously is real. The Buddha taught that the God does not live forever. The God is only temporary. Maybe billions of years or whatever, but only temporary. He's in rebirth. In the cycle of rebirth is a God. So cannot take refuge in God. Take refuge in Buddha, take refuge in Dharma, take refuge in Sangha. This is what we take refuge in. We don't take refuge in God because, okay, you can say, please, can you do this for me? You can maybe say something like this because it's another being, like a friend or something, you ask for something, okay? But cannot take refuge. There is no lasting happiness in a God. Only Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, it's the only three. But we can use that, we can teach that when we learn English, we can teach that influence to the Westerners. Because as I said, they think there is no end to their unhappiness. Oh, no end to my unhappiness, no end to my sadness. But you can teach them, no, there is an end. There's a path to end. But it's in Buddhism. So it's that influence. You're using English language to influence the others now, to influence Falang. Before, Falang used to use it to try to influence Asia and Africa. But now you can turn it back and influence them. Make sure that you are teaching the good things for them. Okay, so this is kind of influence. Another thing about influence is, okay, if I want to tell you about England, we love to drink cups of tea every day. We drink lots of tea every day. We love tea. We drink tea. For breakfast, we will have porridge. We will eat porridge, or we will eat cereal, cornflakes, things like this. Sometimes we have coffee. The French and the Spanish, they like to have what's called croissant. 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 Yeah, they like to eat this, the French especially. French and Spanish. And Europeans like to drink coffee in the morning. When we speak it, the Americans, they like to have pancakes. They love pancakes for breakfast. They have pancakes for breakfast and... That's why they got the yes, why they got the pung yai. But I think actually they do this because they drink beer. That's why they've got a big belly. They drink beer, don't drink beer. It's like not good. So anyway, but this is the Farang culture. It's not Thai culture. Sometimes what happens is Thai people learn English and then they go, oh, I have to drink black tea every day, or I have to have cereal for breakfast, or I have to listen to English music, or I have to do this, or you don't have to do this. All we are doing is learning how to speak. Don't allow those influences to change who you are. You are still Thai. You're still a Thai person, or wherever your country is from, that is where you are from. You don't have to change to be like an English person or an American person or an Australian person, okay? But speak the language is okay. You can speak the language, it's fine. But don't change who you are. Many people, as I say, they start to dress like the Falang, and they start to, say things like the Falang, listen to Falang music all the time. Oh, I love this, so good, yeah, this is... But you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You can just speak the language. It's fine. Use it as a tool. Don't have to change who you are. Still be proud to be Thai. This is the main thing. Sometimes people think, oh, I have to become American, and they watch movies. And how does this American guy act? I'm going to be like this. Yeah, I can start wearing a big cowboy hat or something about it. But no, you don't have to do that. Or, even baseball caps. If you want, okay, baseball caps. If you like it, okay. But don't do it just because Americans do it. And you see the rappers. Oh, yeah, rappers. I'm going to be like a rapper, man. Don't change. You don't have to be like that. I see so many Thai people trying to be like Westerners. But, yeah, you don't have to. This is the influence. This is what I mean about influence. Before they used to use the influence of maybe Christianity. Now they use the influence of the movies and of music. Okay, if you like the music, it's okay. But you don't have to force yourself to do that. Remember who you are. Try to remember who you are. Use the language. Use the language for your own abilities and for your own improvement. Okay, so... Oh yeah, another example of that is... If you're going to use let's say you want to go down to a temple in the south. You go down to a temple in the south, but you're from Isan. You're not going to suddenly do everything like the south do. Yeah, you're still going to remember, oh, hang on, my roots are in Isan. I am still in Isan. Even though you speak Thai, you will speak Thai, but maybe you speak a little bit the local language. But mostly you still think, oh no, I'm still Isan, I'm going to go home, I'm going to speak Isan. You not go home and you start speaking South dialect to your parents. No, it's not. You don't do this. This is the same thing with English. You're not changing who you are. You're only you're just speaking it so that you can communicate. We said earlier on, communication. Yeah, we're using it to communicate, not to change ourselves. Yeah, it's like a tool. If I dig the floor, if I'm trying to dig on the farm, if I just have my hands, it's very painful. If I have jop or I have siam, okay, very easy. Yeah, if I do on the farm with a jop, okay, very good, I don't use my hands. And it's the same with English. You use English, it makes your life easier, but you don't have to become English. The jop, I do not become the jop. I put the jop in the shed and I go home, and that's it. I leave the jop there. I do not keep it with me all day. Yeah, and it's the same for the English language. Just use it when you need it. And then after that, okay, back to being Thai again. Yeah, Thai, San, wherever you come from, yeah. For some of you that are not Thai, then wherever your country is, I'm just using Thai as, because we're in Thailand now. Okay, another thing I wanted to just go over was misunderstandings in language. We have many misunderstandings in our own language. Many people, you're speaking Thai, speak Thai to each other, you ask someone to do something, they do something different. Why did you do that? I did not ask you to do that. Yes, you did. I heard you say that. You tell me to do. No, I did not mean to do like this. I meant do that one. In our own language, we can sometimes make mistakes. We hear the wrong things. Mostly because we don't pay attention, and we just live in our own world. But this is our own language. We make mistakes. So when you're learning a new language, English, if you're speaking with other people or you're speaking with your friends in English, you will also make mistakes. Don't get upset. Try not to get upset. Sometimes it's very easy to get upset because you said something in English and your friend doesn't understand it, or they say it the wrong way, or they pronounce it the wrong way. And so maybe you laugh, or maybe try not to do that. Try to have patience, and patience with yourself. One of the big things why we don't talk, one of them is because we are shy mostly. Mostly we are shy. But the other one is that we are afraid to make a mistake. Yeah, that's kind of why we're shy as well, a little bit. Someone says something to you, like the best one. Someone asks you, Kim Mong Lao, what is the time? I do not have a watch, sorry. I cannot tell you. What about your phone? Oh no, my battery gone. Battery more. I cannot tell you. Time can be a hard one because we don't practice. We are afraid. Oh, I say the wrong one. I don't want to do it. It's quite easy. We know it's basic English to tell the time. Yeah, but we are scared. We don't even want to tell the time in case we make a mistake. But don't worry. Just try. The most important thing is to try. Don't get scared. Don't get upset. You can practice. You can ask each other. If you're something like the time, you can actually ask each other, what time is it? Something like this. And tell each other. Just for fun. It's okay. Can talk in English. What time is it? Oh, whatever. This is a start to talk English. Many times when I'm teaching English, I teach English and people just, no, I cannot hear you. No, tell me. and yes, well, that was it. Yes, was that it? Okay. But this is the thing. So we're scared. We don't want to talk. Be strong. Don't worry. Just say, if someone says, what day is it today? Oh, today is Wednesday. No, today's Wednesday. Today's. I cannot hear you. Have to do. Okay, so just with everything though, try and do that. Try to say loud. Not worry. Don't be scared. My eye. Don't be shy.
You speak Roman.
Yeah.
For everybody.
Yeah. You have to speak to everybody. Try. I think so. But don't worry. So especially when it comes to Dharma, if you want to practice with yourselves. If you want to practice with Falang, you can maybe ask your temple. You can say to your temple, or another temple in, say, England, contact them. Say, do you know an English person who wants to help me with my English? And we can speak. Don't go to the chat rooms, because chat rooms you find crazy people in the chat room. If you want to chat to English people or American people or Australian people, contact a temple. Look on the internet. Look for a temple. Ask them. Say, I am trying to learn English. I need to know somebody who wants to Skype. You can use Skype or Line. Help me to practice my English. And you can practice with a real foreigner. This way it makes you more brave, less shy. You're not so shy because you practice. If you're really shy for that as well, you can get a mirror. You know the mirror? Just talk to the mirror, talk to yourself. Ask yourself questions. Hello, how are you? Oh, I'm fine, thank you. And you? Yes, very good, thank you. Something can start there and build up. So then you find a real person and you talk to the person. Practice, always practice. So that's a very important thing, practice. Okay, we've gone through fun English. So fun English and social stuff. There's not just Facebook. Yeah, we want to have fun as well. Okay, to teach, yes, we want to have like sanuk, yeah, we want to have fun. We want to do different things. We don't have to always be teaching. Not always so serious. Sometimes we want to play games. Yeah, we have computer game. We want to play computer game. Sometimes there is a chat. In the computer game, there is a chat. Maybe you want to talk to the chat. There is a secret for your game. You try to go somewhere and you, oh, where is this? I do not know. But you have a chat box and you can ask somebody in English. Yeah, say, how do I get to level 5 or something like this? What do I need for something? Where does this thing hold? Where does this thing? Where can I find this one? Speaking in English, you can have fun as well. So you can do things like this. There are, as we said, Facebook anyway, but you have games there. We have Facebook and Line that you can use for fun as well. The main thing you have to worry about when you're having fun is spending too much time playing games and things like this.
Like people playing their phone. Some people also spend like 2 or 3 hours on using their Facebook.
Yeah.
I think it was right to use the to make time to play. This is the over fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you have to limit yourself. Be strong. One of the things I've experienced many different aspects of Buddhism. So I lived in a Tibetan Buddhist temple for 6 years. I also studied Zen Buddhism or Chan Buddhism with the Shaolin monks in China. I also studied, obviously, Thai Buddhism since I have been here for 3 years and in the UK. Everything is slightly different. Every style that has grown is slightly different. But with Zen Buddhism or Chan Buddhism, very strict. Everything is very strict. You will do this, and then you will do this, and then sometimes we have to do, especially when we have the fun things, we have to be very strong. In Thai Buddhism, it's very relaxed. It's very good. It's very nice. It's good, yeah, but it's nice. It's good. It's nice. It's like, it's very loving. It's really nice.
If you can compare between Zen and Buddhism, Buddhism is also like the inside.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Zen is the outside that we're doing that is quite strict. And so we have to try to find those areas where we can be strict in our lives, which is things like fun. When you're having fun and, Facebook for, 3 hours is very bad. Yeah, cannot do that. Yeah, you lose we're wasting our time. We should not be doing this. Yeah, so many other things we can do. But this is, so limiting things like this and spending our time doing other things more productive. Okay, as far as the teachings go, it's actually probably better for us to live in a cave and do nothing. But if we are in the real world, we need to use English language for things. If your English language is very good, you can think about writing a book. Yeah, you can write a book in Buddhism. Yeah. To help Western people. Some books we give for free. We give Dharma teachings for free. We do that. In the West, they also have ones which you pay for. Because here in Thailand, everyone makes donations. Everyone does dana. Okay, very good. Everyone is generous here. They give. In the West, no one does. No one gives anything. It's like really tight. So what we have to do, sometimes we have to, when we charge for a book or something like this, we say it's dana. So the person is giving, it's like they're giving, it's like or sponsoring or something like this, So we say that's kind of what that, we're not saying you have to pay this. It's like an optional thing that it's their Dharma offering for us. But you can do that. You can write books. And yet again, going back to Alibaba, you can sell it on Alibaba, you can sell it on Amazon. If you go to Amazon, you can publish your own book. You do not need a publisher. You can do it, everything online, if you can speak English. Also, fun things, talking about fun things. I don't know about you, but for me, learning is fun. Lien, when I learn, sanuk mak. When I'm learning, very good. I really enjoy learning different subjects. Can be different things. Can be science, can be maths, English, or can be many things. Geography, computing. You can learn this. If you go online, you can learn for free. American universities teach for free, but it's in English. We've all heard of MIT, hopefully, big university in America, or Yale University. Oxford University, Cambridge University, Australian universities as well. They teach for free. You do not have to pay. You just go on the internet and learn. But, Pasa Ange, that's the only thing. I know, that's the thing, yeah. There's the big but, yeah, the big but, Pasa Ange. But, if you can learn English, this is fun. You will learn everything. Microsoft have free teaching on everything about computers. Free. Can learn everything. Programming, website design, you can everything free. But speaking English. So this can give you motivation to learn English if you want to learn this as well. These universities, you don't have to pay to go to another country. You do not have to pay to go to America or Australia to learn. These universities give it for free. You can sit in your room and just write, learn. You can send your assignment in, have it marked, and they will send it back. So it's very good if you can learn. So these are fun things that you can do with English as well. Okay, so what else do we have here? We have the communication of Dharma, which I've gone through as well. Okay, how are we doing for time? What I want to do first is, before I go into how we learn in English, I'm just going to go into, if this works. Project on? Yes? No? We got it, okay. This video is going to be from Central London. In Central London we have so many different cultures. So try to understand the different accents if you can. If you cannot understand the different accents, it's okay. Just going to... I'll show you the first one and we'll build from there. Okay, does anyone know where the sound channel is? Yeah, do we have a speaker here or not? Okay, hang on, just try to find a speaker. Speaker. It doesn't appear to be a speaker here. Have you heard, if you've heard stuff here before, they probably do have a speaker, but I don't know. Oh, I haven't used it. Okay. If we don't have speaker, it doesn't matter. It's not a big thing, not a big problem. Yeah, I don't think we have speaker. Okay, but this is kind of Central London anyway, so this is mostly, this is like a famous kind of church in London that they have. And they had to build all the buildings around it because they couldn't, obviously they can't change the church, but they built all this. So most of London is like this. It has these big office buildings and they all surround this church here. I don't think, yes, no. If I follow the lead, maybe I can follow the lead and that might.
Could you please put the microphone down so
Yeah, maybe we do that. Good thinking. Wow, see. Let's see where my speaker is.
I have 2 parents and 1 brother. Who's in your family?
My family is my wife, Carol, my sister, Susan, and my parents, Vivian and Betty.
My family is my mom and 3 brothers.
My family is my parents, a brother, a sister, and a husband.
My family is my mother, my father, and my brother.
I have my mom, Lucy, have my dad, Alan, and I have my sister, Louisa, who's 16.
My family is my mum, my dad, and my two sisters.
There's me, this is my daughter, Cecilia, this is my partner, David, and there's Grandma and Grandpa and Gran and Granddad too.
My family is my mother, Kate, my father, Peter, and I have a daughter, Julia, and a stepdaughter, Rebecca.
My family is my mum, my dad, and my two brothers.
My mother and my father, and I have an older sister and 4 older brothers. One of them is my twin brother.
How old are they? And what are their jobs?
My brother is 28 and working for Porsche, and my sister is 33 and a PA, and my husband is 38 and a singer.
My brother is 36 years old and is a computer programmer.
My dad is 60 and he's a teacher, and one of my brothers is 35 and he's a singer.
My mother is 53 and she's a sales assistant in Marks & Spencer. And my sister is 23 and she's a student at university.
My parents are both 62. David's parents, I think,
59 and 55, and my mum is a teacher, and my dad works with computers.
My parents are retired.
My mum is 45 and she's a teacher, and my brother is 18 and he's a student at college.
My dad is 52 and he's a banker. My mom, she's a full-time mother and she's 48. Who are you with today?
This is my good friend Kat from Germany. This is Anne-Marie with friends from college.
I'm with Marlene, is a friend of mine from Portugal.
I'm with my mom, Lucy, and my cousin, Emily.
Oh, well, this is my friend Lamel.
This is my father, Simon, and this is my sister, Rebecca.
This is my baby daughter, Annabelle, and she is 6 months old.
This is my partner, David, and this is my little girl, Cecilia.
This is my wife, Carol.
This is my friend Drew.
So that's just an example of some of the people in London. Lots of different accents as well. Did you find it easy to understand the accents? Yeah, kind of. Okay. If you went to the temple in Wimbledon, in London, it's Wat Buddha Pradeep in Wimbledon, you'll see these people every day. They will come to you. Can you teach me meditation, please? You have to be able to talk to them. It's good, you know, if you want to, you don't have to. But if you want to see London, if you want to go and see the snow, it's very cold right now. In London, we have snow today. Very cold. But if you want to see the snow one day, the temple will pay for you to go and spend some time. You can also go to New Zealand. Australia has snow, I think. Southern Australia, I think. But New Zealand has snow. For English, and Canada, of course, Canada. We have Canada, which has lots of snow all the time. If you want to try a different kind of environment. But these are the type of people we meet in London. London is one of the most, I don't know if you know this word, cosmopolitan. Cosmopolitan. It means many people from different countries. Many different countries. We call it cosmopolitan. And it's one of the most. We have so many in London, more than any other city. Even New York is supposed to be very busy, but London has more nationalities living in than any other country in the world. So you will have to know different languages. But the good side of this is that you will be accepted. You will be very accepted if you go to London, because we have many culture in London. We have so much culture in London. It's open for everyone. You can go there, and it's good. It's good. You'll be accepted there. Okay, whether you're a monk or whether you change, whether you're not a monk, when you go there, you will be accepted whichever way. Okay, one of the things I wanted to go into then is, obviously we have to learn. If we're going to go to another temple, or we're going to go somewhere, another country that speaks English, okay, what about also, it doesn't have to be England. You could go to Japan. You could go and maybe try and spend some time in a Zen temple if you wanted to do that. You would have to speak English, unless you can speak Japanese. There would be English-speaking monks in the Zen temple, depending on which temple you go to, and you would communicate through English. Zen is more focused on samadhi, so he's not so worried. You don't have to learn so much different things. But similarly, you could go to China. China also, you can go there and learn this. Okay. So when we're thinking about where we're going, we need to know, how do we learn? How do we learn English? This is the most important thing. How? There's so many different ways. Can anyone tell me a way of learning English? How do you learn English now? Okay.
For myself, and actually it's quite difficult for me when I first learned of English language. Well, I do remember when I was 12, and my mom sent me to the temples. At the time, I decided to do ordination as a novice, and I came to study at maybe the primary school, and they have an English class, and I practice. The way I learn is practicing. Practice with the mirror and with the people, and I spent 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, to go to the royal place in Phnom Penh, in Cambodia. And in order to practice English with the foreigners, yes, this is the way of my learning English. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, so that's one example of how we can learn English. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, I'll give a round of applause there, yes. Okay, well done. Not shy. See, he managed to speak. You're not shy. Good. So this is one example of how a person can learn English. But he had many. Face-to-face. He went to see foreigners, and he speaks to foreigners. You can learn this way. It's very hard to do, but if you can do it, very good. The other way is at school. So this is how we learn mostly. We learn at school. Teacher stands at the front, says, A, B, C, D, blah, blah, blah. To be, I am, you are, he is, she is, blah, blah, yeah. Normally this is how we learn. But there are other ways now. There are also other ways, which I think you probably use as well. Nowadays you can also use the internet. We have the internet, so don't spend 3 hours on Facebook. You don't need to do that. You can spend maybe some time on YouTube learning English. You can take notes, have a notebook. Take a notebook with you, watch how to learn English and take notes. Learn how to use English. They have many different levels on YouTube. But you cannot do just that, because then you speak and maybe you do not speak the right way. So you need to have a teacher as well. So the real way to go forward, if you're going to learn English, the best way to learn is to stick with lessons. So you have lessons, classroom lessons, face-to-face with a teacher, hopefully native English speaker or someone who is very experienced at English. The internet as well. Use the internet in your free time. How about books? Does anyone here read English books? Yeah? Okay, good. The guy who's speaking English all the time. Yeah, so maybe you guys need to read some English books. I would say newspapers, but the problem with newspapers is sometimes, yeah, and also the news is, yeah. There can be new vocabulary every day, but that's actually a good thing. Hopefully, everyone has an English dictionary, Thai English dictionary. If not, don't worry, because you have Google Translate, which, so most people have that. It's not 100%, yeah, good, it's not. If you can use an Oxford, Cambridge, one of these sort of books, one of these sort of dictionaries is the best. But the problem is they can be expensive. Until you can afford, if you can afford to buy a good Oxford or Cambridge English dictionary, can buy this.
We have a library.
Oh, you have a library. Perfect. 100%. Okay.
When we came to university, and this paper in the internet, the internet to go to the library and we check it out like dictionary.
Wow. Okay, this is really good. I used to teach in a temple in Nong Khai. It was called Wat Banbon. And they had no library, they had nothing. It was kind of really basic. But it's great. You have like a library. Use it for the dictionary. Take a newspaper if you can, or a book. Bangkok Post or The Nation, something like this, or a book. The words you do not understand, use the dictionary for.
We have a smart mobile, like mobile phone.
Yeah.
It also contains a lot of protection. Like we have many apps store.
Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah. So try to use that. If you have use your smartphones. If you have to translate, don't be scared because I cannot understand. Don't worry. Just try and find a few words every day. Try to translate one new word or read a little bit. As you read, your English will become better. You can watch as we said, YouTube. You can watch, not just watch the funny show. You can watch how to speak English. They can teach you the reason, how to speak English, why we speak English in certain ways. And try with your teacher. When you see this, oh, I see on YouTube today, I see YouTube said that you can say double M after you do swimming is double M. Why is WM and why is this one not double M? You have a question, you can ask your teacher, but you can find your information first from YouTube. Okay, I can see most of you. Are you tired? Sure. I think you're not, but everyone else seems to be like, everyone else has got their phones now. It's like, I've lost half the room. Okay, how are we doing for time? I'm going to try and do another. Okay, this is on daily routines. This one is daily routines.
Hi. At the weekend, I get up late and I usually go out with friends or just relax. What about you? What time do you get up at the weekend?
I get up about 8:30.
About 7 a.m.
About 8 o'clock.
Saturday, 9:30, 10 o'clock. Sunday, as I work, I get up earlier.
I get up about 8 o'clock in the morning.
At the weekend, I get up at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning.
Usually about 10 o'clock.
Usually around 9 a.m. and sometimes a bit later.
Usually about 9 or 10.
About 7 o'clock.
9, maybe 10 o'clock.
What do you usually do at the weekend?
I sometimes go swimming. I often cook because I enjoy cooking, and I read a lot.
We usually meet friends and go walking.
Saturday, meet friends, have coffee, socialise. Sunday, usually after work, see family.
In the weekend, I get up and I drink tea in the morning, and then I either have breakfast at home or go to a cafe.
We go out swimming or walk in the forest, cycling, rollerblading.
I go to the gym or I go rowing on the river.
See friends, family.
I usually take my dogs for a walk and do some housework.
Gardening and jobs around the house.
Normally I read the newspapers in the morning, then I meet up with friends in the afternoon, maybe go to the theatre.
I go walking a lot in the summer months, in the countryside usually, or by the seaside.
Okay, so this is average kind of routines that people do. Weekends, as you can see, many people get up at different times. Some people get up at 6 or 7, some people get up at 10. I can't believe people get up at 10. Most of my day is finished by 10 o'clock, but people get up at 10, yeah. It's, I get up at 5 a.m. I get up at 5. Because I've been a monk before, so I can get since I've, okay, cool. Because I'm so used to going bintabat, have to get up early, so. Okay, yeah, so everyone, but yeah, in the temple as well, people have different routines. Not everyone gets up at the same time. Some people get up disam, 3 o'clock, some people get up at 4, 5. Some people get up, just go to do bintabat. So it's different things, different routines, and different temples have different routines as well. You know, in Tibet temple, we don't do bintabat. We don't do bintabat. We just we have special days where everyone comes in and makes offerings. So yeah, so there's many different things there. But this is, so yeah, these are routines. Different people like to go swimming. They like to do this and that and this other. One of the things in the West, one of the things that we have a lot in the West is fitness. Many people are really interested in fitness because we had a lot of problems, and now I think in Thailand have many problems with things like diabetes and also other problems like dementia and Alzheimer's, which are linked to food and exercise, lack of exercise, heart disease. And you can see all these Westerners now, they have so many, have these big bellies. And it's bad health. And so now more people are interested in health and fitness. So the routines that everybody had, things like going for walks, doing swimming, going for a run, doing rowing, everyone tends to be fitness oriented. They want to do exercise. They're looking out for their health now. I think in Thailand is becoming like this also, which is good. Need to do here also. Don't have to worry, for monks it's very easy because you do sweeping, so it's like, you know, tamguat is very healthy, keep you very healthy, so you do that every day, keep you healthy. But yeah, normally lay people will do other exercises and things like this. So we had different ways of teaching. We already looked at the different ways of teaching and different things that you can do, like going and talking to foreigners or something else. Do anyone have any questions? Anyone has any questions? Me come tamai? Must have loads. Really? Don't have any questions. You can ask me anything. You can ask me things like, what time do you get up in the morning? You can ask me that as well. If we've already said, I get up at diha. But up to you. You can get up any time. Any other questions? Any other questions? Me come tamai? Must have some questions. Yes, no? I will wait. My eye. What did I say before we were talking? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Just ask if there is none. Yes.
I would like to ask you one question.
Yeah.
How to memorize the slang or idiom, or how to keep memory, how to keep our vocabulary, especially the group of words.
Yeah.
Especially collocation. Like
collocations, yeah. So collocations and yeah. To be quite honest, it is very tough for Konange also. Many English and Americans, they get the collocations wrong sometimes. Mostly it's down to the level of education. The higher someone is educated, the better they are at speaking the English language. It's just the way that it goes. So, but how we learn that is we learn through, as with anything, we learn through repetition. Repetition, repetition. Everything we learn through repetition. When we learn our prayers, when we learn what we're saying in the mornings, when we learn everything, what we say in the mornings, when we say other prayers, some people can remember the prayer all night, can remember off by heart. But why? Because we do it so many times. Every morning you go and you do it, you say same thing, same thing. Okay, now I can remember. Yeah. And it's the same with anything, any phrase or any way of English language. Another way to remember some of the collocations was when I said about reading a newspaper. It is really hard. You were saying it's very hard to read a newspaper because we have new vocabulary. But the way that a newspaper is written is normally with the correct collocations. If you're going to get the correct ones, you need to read, don't read a type that because The Nation and Bangkok Post, they get it wrong. They don't always have the correct collocation. You need to read an English newspaper. Doesn't matter if it's an old one. You can find old English newspapers. I think in Khon Kaen, I'm sure you can. Definitely in Bangkok, you can, Krung Thep. If you can find old newspapers and just read the whole article or a magazine. There are magazines called The Economist. You can actually get them on the internet. I'm not going to set it up now. It's called The Economist. And this one also is very good English for learning how to use collocations, how to use the correct placing of the words in English as well. One of the biggest ones that everyone has problems with is prepositions. So prepositions, what is a preposition? Can anyone remember what is a preposition? Yes, hello? Preposition? An example of a preposition is that the computer is on top of the desk. On top of is a preposition. Some of the ones that we use are very difficult. So if I'm going to work here, some people get this preposition wrong. What would you say here? Would you say I am going to work in the desk? Or I'm going to work on the desk? You would think that, but that means I'm going to be on the desk. That means I have to sit. So it's not, there's actually another one. Does anyone know the correct one that you use for desk? I work. Anyone know the correct one? Not on, and it's not in. If I was in, I would be in there. Last one, there's an at. I work at the desk. I work at the desk. Many people get this wrong. You have to remember. So, but this happens with many collocations. So it's yeah. And when I'm going on the bus, I go on the bus. I go by boat. I can go on the boat, but then I have to go by boat. There are some of these little collocations, things like this, which you're talking about. Don't worry too much, because even English people get it wrong. When I'm in England, when I am UT Patet, when I'm there, sometimes people say blah blah blah. No, that is not correct English, and they are Konangit. They're English, and they do not speak proper English, and I have to say to them, no, this is not correct English. I have to say. So don't worry if you do not get 100%. It's not important. Yes, good. Okay.
Effectively, we practice when we are alone. We practice with who we are.
Yes.
Do you think it is the best way, the good way to practice?
Yeah, I think if you are on your own to begin with, if you are shy to speak to another person, you can try to the mirror, can talk to the mirror. Or the other one is quite good, is we have many in the temple. You can talk to the dog. Talk English to your dog. Blah, 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 blah. You can practice. There will be a dog in your temple that is very good at English, very good at listening to English. You can find that dog and talk. You can do something like this also. Dog or cat can practice like this. If the dog ran away, then don't worry. It's not the good dog. It's not the good dog for English. But start like this, and then find a friend. So maybe you can have two of you. Say, listen, after we finish prayers tonight, can we speak English for half an hour? After you've done your evening prayer, can we speak English for half an hour? 30 minutes, just speak English. No Thai allowed. And you can write some questions. If you don't, what am I going to talk about? I don't know. Okay. Write down and then read from you can ask each other questions like you have just done now. You ask me a question, you would ask your friend the question, and then they have a question to ask you. And try to do like this. Everyone can try to do like this. And then after that, you can try to contact a temple in England or in Australia or in America. Ask them, is there an English person, an English speaker who wants to practice or help me to practice with my English? And Skype. You can do a Skype with another person. Maybe you can start to teach them Dharma. You don't know. Maybe you can, If their English or if their Dharma knowledge is not good, you can teach them and be friends. And say, same thing, just for 15 nati, not too long, 15 minutes. Can I say hello? Can I ask you questions? How is the weather there today? Oh, the weather's fine. You know, what did you do today? Blah, 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 blah. You know, things like this. What did you eat for dinner tonight? Something like this. You can do it on Skype with a real foreigner. And they will do it. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Yeah, it's not a big deal. You can do that. And then your English will go very quickly, very fast. And then the next thing, actually go to the temple in England or in Australia. And then your English will go, wow, very quick. Very good. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Oh, okay, yes. Yeah, 2 more questions. Good, good.
How do you feel when you come to MCU University for the first time? How do you feel and you talk something like this to us?
Yeah, I think it's very nice. This is a very big university. It's the biggest one I've seen. I've been to the big school in Nong Khai. I've been to some other universities as well, Buddhist universities. They're very nice. I like it. Yeah, it's very good. And people here are very nice as well, very nice. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Thank you. Okay, other question?
One more question, okay?
One question.
Yes.
Some teachers, they say that when we speak English, we don't focus on English grammar. That is correct or not?
Okay, if you're doing an exam, it's important to do grammar to pass the exam. If you are just talking to a person to teach them as a friend, is not so important. For speaking, grammar is not so important. Vocabulary, you need to know vocabulary. If you cannot tell me the word, if you do not know the noun, you do not know what the word is. Oh, I want to tell you about a plant. This thing here, but there's not my me. Oh, I don't know, I cannot say what it is. It's not good. So vocabulary is the most important. Study vocabulary, then grammar. Grammar is second. Unless you're doing exam. If you're doing exam, grammar is most important and vocabulary is second because you have to pass the grammar exam. But if you're talking to friends or you're trying to explain something, the more vocabulary you know, the better. Because you can explain things, and I can guess. If you come to England and you just tell me noun, I can kind of guess what you mean. Because you tell me lots of nouns and I can guess, what you're talking about, yeah. And you don't have to worry about prepositions and you don't have to worry about, all the other things, conjunctions and everything, so much. Just vocabulary, I think, is the most. But that's my own personal belief. I'm not just trained Thai people. When I was in the UK, we had monks from Nepal, Nepal. They used to come over to England and I had to teach them to speak English as well, to stay in England. And we did the same for the Nepalese monks as well. Just vocabulary. Vocabulary is most important. Okay. Yes?
Do you have any technique to remember vocabulary and how to use it effectively?
A really good one is to have pictures. And when you have the picture, so if I was, or have the real thing. So if I'm trying to learn the word plant, I would go plant. I would actually touch it as well. Plant. Plant. Something like this. If I'm trying to learn table, I would find a table and go table, table, table. Repeat at least 3 times, minimum 3 times. Should repeat more. The more you repeat, the better. But touch as well. Say, touch. Sometimes if it has a smell, so you could also touch it and smell flower. Touch and smell. The more senses you use when you're trying to remember something, the more senses you use, the more chance you have to remember it. So, okay. Good. Okay. So, any more questions? Yes, yes. One more question. Or 2 more questions.
Maybe the last question. My question is, what is the best factor to learn English language?
The best factors? How do you mean the factors? Factors in which way? The best techniques? What do you mean, like internet or face-to-face or? Yeah, it's a mixture. Everyone is different, so we all learn very differently. There was a study on learning that was undertaken in American universities, and I mean, there's been loads of different studies, but this one that I'm talking about now shows that there's a thing called multiple intelligences. And now multiple intelligences mean we all learn slightly differently. Some people will learn things, as I say, through touch. Some will learn through sound. Sometimes you have to be active. Sometimes some people, they're very physical. They will only learn, I have to pick up the table and put it down. And this will kind of help me to learn more if I pick things up, if I'm physical. Face to face, if I'm seeing someone, you know, different things. Different people have different ways of learning, and this is all intrinsic. It's specific to each one of us. A long time ago, they did one where they grouped everyone into three. They said you're visual, audio, or kinesthetic, which means you learn through seeing, or you learn through here, or you learn through touching and things. This is gone now because they found there's even more. There's not three, there's about 20. So everyone learns differently. So find a way that works for you. If talking to someone face-to-face works, use that. If it doesn't, I cannot do it. I'm too shy. Try something else. Talk to the dog. You can talk to the dog, that works. Okay. If it works, do it. You know, tell your dog, write something in English and talk to your dog about what you did today. I don't know, up to you. Everyone has different ways. Any other questions? Was that it? Mikam Tamay? Any more? Yes, no. Okay, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
โอเคนะครับเราก็เมย์สปิกไทยนะ คือสรุปนิดหนึ่งในส่วนที่เราได้วันนี้หลายคนอาจจะได้เยอะนะได้เยอะทุกคนในห้องก็จะได้คือให้เข้าใจว่า104ประเทศเนี่ยใช้ภาษาอังกฤษเป็นภาษาทางการนะสรุปง่ายๆสั้นๆเพราะฉะนั้น2ประเด็นที่อาจารย์พูดสุดท้ายเมื่อกี้นี่น่าสนใจมากก็คือว่าที่ครูบาอาจารย์เรียนใน University เนี่ยให้ประสบการณ์เราเพื่อที่จะให้เราได้เห็นบ่อยๆแต่ว่าที่วรุษถามเมื่อกี้ก็คือว่าทำยังไงถึงจะได้ภาษาอังกฤษแบบ automatically ก็คือว่าถ้าเกิดว่าดอกไม้ก็ smell flower ไปเลยก็คือว่า table คือจับ table ไปเลยก็คือว่านี่คือการใช้คำศัพท์ถ้าเกิดว่าไม่มีใครคุยด้วยเดินไปเจอหมาก็คุยกับหมาใครจะว่าก็ช่างนะใครจะว่าก็ช่างนะเพราะว่า104ประเทศนี่คือใช้ภาษาทางการไปทำงานได้เอเชีย10ประเทศอีกทุกประเทศเพราะฉะนั้น2ประเด็นที่อาจารย์เซตพูดถึงก็คือว่า1ถ้าเกิดว่าให้สอบผ่านเนี่ยโอเคอาจารย์ให้อ่านตรงนี้ฝึกตรงนี้โอเคสอบผ่านแต่ให้ใช้ในชีวิตจริงเพื่อที่จะไปทำงานและใช้จริงๆและเวลาคุณไปอยู่ใกล้ชิดกับฝรั่งคุณจะพูดได้อย่าง automatically fluently เลยนะเพราะฉะนั้นคือนี่คือสรุป next I would like to invite ท่านอาจารย์Dr. Dipti will come to say thank อาจารย์ that a little bit and then we take a photo together for Q&A okay
I'm very happy to be here again at the end of this session, and I think all of you enjoyed because from the way you tried to ask the questions, I felt that all of you have interacted to a great extent, and it will be very nice for us if we have Sebastian once again, okay, maybe next year, okay, we will try to contact you and I hope you will be ready to come to our university again. It's very important that when we learn language, we interact with people, okay? Or with flowers, with animated things, or with inanimate things, or sometimes we just talk to ourselves. When I learned Thai, I always used to talk to myself. Okay, before the meeting, I talk to myself so that I can go to the meeting and ask some questions. So if you don't want to talk to a dog or a cat, you are yourself your friend, okay? You talk to yourself in your mind. That is one way that I would like to share with you because I myself did that when I practiced my Thai. And I'm still in the process of learning. Language is a never-ending process of learning. We learn every day, right? There are millions of words, hundreds of words, and as he has said, that it depends on the person, what method, what technique is good for you. It's not the same. So you find out your own method. You discover yourself, okay? But some of them sing very well, although they are not allowed to sing, okay? I asked them I sometimes ask them to listen to songs, but I said, be careful with your Vinaya, because that doesn't allow. But anyway, they try their best, and we are so grateful to you, okay? After a long time, we are having a native speaker coming to talk and interact with our students, and we are really grateful to you. I think it's a wonderful opportunity to have you here again, and we hope we will continue, okay?